Good afternoon and welcome to this impromptu chat with myself, Nathan Oakley, Antonio Pratts and Adam Joseph Doherty. So this is a very spur of the moment hangout and it's a reaction to Dan Pratt's current begging video which he's put up. And the first thing we want to level at everyone watching is that we have absolutely no criticism. In fact, praise for all those who have helped Dan in his time of need. So we'll get that squared away first and foremost. However, the person who is actually doing this can do two things that we object to. One is cause a huge amount of harm to flat Earth, literally, as Adam put it, panhandling as a flat earther. The second thing is this man has leveled the most criticism at people like Patricia Steer for monetizing their channels, something that I personally have suggested Dan does on multiple occasions, and he's flat out ignored it in favor of saying that the truth shouldn't be monetized and that people should have access to it. But he's more than happy to stick his hand or cap out and ask for cash. But I personally am shocked. I know you two are shocked. And we want to put this out there that it's deplorable. I don't know what you guys think.
I think it's the most hypocritical thing I could have ever seen. Dan Pratt, bring down the government, bring down NASA, bring down television stations. You guys go and do a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not prepared to do. Now, give me money. You guys who listen to me, give me money. What a shit. Just, and some people might be thinking, oh, there's Antonio criticizing stuff again. Yes, if you don't criticize shit, then shit gets out of hand, okay? I'm going to do some screen share right now of my latest little conversation with Dan Pratt. Now, before coming on here, I went and looked. I'd removed my comments, which are freaking hilarious. Nathan, I think you can remember some of them, okay? And I urged Dan Pratt to show, because he'll have the comments on his thread, okay? So I'm presenting to everyone. Now, can you see what I'm showing?
Yeah.
Yeah. This, where it says, no, Antonio, I'm just checking you and you're playing bitch again. Yeah. Am I seeing? Am I showing?
Yes, you are. I see it.
Yeah. So listen to Patricia chastise people that support channels that tear down others, when she's not only supported but promoted Omni Aries when he was the most abusive person in the flat earth. Now, let me show more. Oh, it's not going to let me show more.
You can't see it. You won't ask for.
Right. Sorry, guys. Let me just show more. Okay. See, Patricia, people don't like you because you're a hypocritical cunt. This is Dan Pratt writing this, people. Not that I can't be hypocritical at times. No, not at times. Your whole personality full time is hypocritical, Mr. Dan Pratt. Not that I can't be hypocritical at times as well, but at least I admit my faults. You seriously act as if you never do wrong. You're a fucking joke, and your bitch boy Antonio is 33 times worse. Fine, I replied to him, something jokey, taking the piss out of him because he's a fucking moron. And he says, Antonio, I'm just checking you and you're plain bitch again. So I replied, yeah, check away. Tell me, was Omni Aries? Was it true what he was saying? I was just poking fun at him, not making anything. I called him bovine, but no, not big insults, because it was showing to everyone and I wanted everybody to see. I was goading him on. So he says, laugh my ass off. What funny is, you probably think that really gets me. You just keep your train wreck up, Antonio. Daytime, nighttime. I'm sure someone out there gives a fuck, just not this guy. And it's funny, your woman used to love my videos. Oh, did she? Till I called her out for the passive-aggressive, pompous, hubris-infused bag of win she is. Oh, well, can't win them all. Then I replied, yeah, whatever. Something jokey. Oh, come on. Let's not act like Patricia can't fill you in all the dirty little secrets and lies he told her, because I asked him about whether Omni Aries, what he was saying about Dan Pratt having a glory hole, was true or not. So he says, well, to ask Patricia, she can tell his dirty secrets and lies he told her while she was sucking him off in the car in the garage. Oh, maybe I think he doesn't understand what gay means, this guy, even though obviously he's got rather gay tendencies himself. I can picture him in a leather hat and leather pants easily with a dog collar on.
Well, before we start the ad hominem attacks on
Yeah,
Dan,
yeah.
have a little look at the actual video. If you guys can mute, I'll turn it up at my end.
Okay, all I'm doing is reading some more.
Move now, and without that, my income coming in, I gotta do the hardest thing it is for me to do, and ask if anybody can help the little bit they can help. I have to admit I need it, and I would greatly appreciate anybody that can do it. I don't want to start with trying to charge monthly fees and that. Anything I say is just, my thoughts, and I want to share them freely. I could never even dream of trying to charge people for it. But if you feel I'm worth it, or anything I've said has helped you in any way, and you're able to help, if it weren't for my kids, I would eat out of a dumpster. But I got to admit, I do need a little help. And so anybody that can help. In this one-time emergency situation, I would greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to leave a link if you can. If you can help. I promise me and my wife will pay it forward any way we can, and we'll.
It's one-time only emergency situation, just like the other one-time only emergency situation when he was moving to Houston and he was asking for people to help him because he couldn't afford the deposit on his place.
Didn't Patricia vouch for him on that occasion?
Yes, but he doesn't know.
Oh,
so
shit.
he started calling her a cunt. He doesn't know that she phoned up the landlord to say, if you need somebody to vouch for him, I'll vouch for him. I'll be his kind of guarantor or whatever it was. But he doesn't know this, so he started calling her a cunt. Just like you saw in my messages. I've got
She
more.
probably didn't want him knowing that. I'm really sorry, Patricia, if you can hear me. Sorry. She probably didn't want him knowing that. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I didn't give any money, but at the time when he was moving, I was a follower of Dan Pratt early on through the many incarnations of his channel. And when he was moving from the Seattle area to Houston, where I was living at the time, I was encouraging, and he was talking, it's so long ago, hard to remember, talking about how he was having trouble getting this particular place, and he was asking people to help by calling the office of the apartment complex. And I did, I don't know who else did.
He was basically asking for money back then. That's
I don't
what
know
he was
if he was
doing.
really asking for
Yes,
money.
he was. He just
but-
wasn't using the words like he is now.
Yeah, he was asking for help trying to get in and then call. And anyway, it was nothing that I did. And that was, at that point, he wasn't calling me out for being a windbag, a cunt.
Passive-aggressive.
Passive-aggressive, having sex with Omni-Eris, a gay man. Every other thing you could ever imagine, and also saying that I do my channel purely to bring in the New World Order and for money, and that I sell things. I've never sold anything. He also
Yeah, you
horrible-
used to sell things in a clothes shop. We have to remember that some people will have that
Yes,
kind of
I
mind.
used to own a clothing store, so I sold things way before I was a flat earther, but everyone's had a job where they sell something, be it an idea or an object. But anyway, whatever. People have jobs. But
He
also Jared and Mark
he-
Sargent and many other people he kind of tarred with the same brush of being people who are selling and bringing in the New World Order and that sort of thing by asking for there to be unity and love and peace within Flat Earth. He's the one who is saying that that's bad and that brings in the New World Order. Peace and love, I mean, hey, I think it's kind of a good idea.
Anybody can get a job at McDonald's, you know?
Yeah.
It's the truth. Anybody can get a job at McDonald's. And he says if it wasn't for his kids, he'd be eating out of a dumpster. Because obviously he wouldn't work for McDonald's, that evil multinational corporation. Well, if you've got to feed kids, then do whatever you need to do to feed your kids. Or don't
sell your car, get rid of your internet connection.
Yes, get rid of your non-essentials like internet and cable and stuff. Yeah.
And a car. I mean, my folks got rid of their car when they had kids. They had no car. We've got one card that's really, really old. It's like very old, but that's it. You know, if it comes to the point that we can't afford to keep that, it'll be gone. That's it. We'll sell everything to the point where we don't have anything. If we don't have any money, I've done it once already.
Wait a minute. You mean you won't make a video asking people to give you money?
No, but what I will do is try and develop a successful YouTube account where people hopefully watch the adverts, and in which case I make money from it. Well, I'm all for that. People who want to put Patreon accounts together, good for you too. If you want people to contribute in that way, those are the ways and means that have been put before us to make money from doing what we do. And people like Dan Pratt have criticized that heavily, said you're making money from the truth. No, we're making money from YouTube. That's what doing YouTube is all about. If we want to monetize it, and people choose to watch the adverts, albeit 3 seconds of them, then they can watch the adverts. If they choose not to, they watch the video and they've had 3 seconds of their time stolen because I've ticked one checkbox. That's it.
Yeah. I noticed one thing. Okay, he was really hard on other people for monetizing channels and making money and other things, that he really bashed people, getting people to turn on people, as using that as one of his main things. But I noticed one thing when I was watching the video, and I'm just going to say it. Near the end of the video, his kids were getting louder when he was asking for money. What was that all about? Because you could hear them a little bit in the background, and then near the end, you can hear his kids louder.
So
it seems seems emotional to me. Him and his wife are in on it, right? It's her account. So where was his wife telling his kids to be louder at the end of the video so that people could hear his kids? That's what it's. I don't know. That's what it seemed like. It's
a video. If your kids are being loud, you ask them to be quiet, or you wait until they go out and you make your video again, so people don't hear them screaming in the background.
No, but it was perfect because no, Antonio. Instead of having music added to the video to get that emotional reaction, what made his emotional, almost crying, come more effective is his kids got louder at the part when he was really asking for money.
Yeah, he's doing the. But if you think I've brought anything to your life, shit. This is a child in a grown man's body. We've seen this before. Nathan and I made a video. We should have freaking released it, Nathan. Okay. This is he's behaving like an adolescent. This is what he's doing. Okay. Just because he's in a grown-up body doesn't mean that he's an adult. Okay. Even though, you know, that is what an adult is. But this guy, he says shit. I've got more comments that I'd like to read, Nathan. Is that okay? Just so people see.
Really I mean, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, because of the type of hypocrisy, do what you like as far as I'm concerned. If I had any sympathy for Dan, it's all gone. You know, I've literally in the last day been saying, why don't you monetize your channel? This is a guy who shut down, 3, 4 successful YouTube channels. He could have let them grow. He could have monetized them. He could have done Patreon. He could have done a million different things. But instead, he didn't. He shut them down, restarted them up again. Of course, all of the vitriol on his channels of late have all gone because all the videos have been removed. So you can't go back and reference all of his nasty shit. It's just his current stuff.
But you can also go to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, one of my earlier episodes in the 20s, I think. I interviewed Dan Pratt, and he was happy as a lark.
He was gushing. What it is with Dan Pratt is he wanted Patricia stay. He wasn't going to get her, and now he's bitter as fuck.
No, I don't know if that's the case, but he was very happy at that time.
Oh, come on. He's behaving like a child that's just been asked by a good-looking girl to sit at his table.
Well, anybody can go look at the video, and it was a really nice interview, and he came in wearing his signature tank top, but he decided to dress up for my show. I didn't ask him to, with a suit on and a shirt, and then he took it off, and then it was a lovely video. We had a great time, and I did like his work at that time. He wasn't he was angry, but angry at he was angry at things we should be angry at, not at each other. And then things turned, and he just started saying all sorts of horrible things about myself and other people, where I did not change. I still have continued to do the very same thing I did from day one, which is interview flat earthers and try to get people to feel good about what we're doing, because we're small and isolated community.
He's not interested in that. He wants to be heard shouting, and that's it.
Yeah. Hold on. He's making fun of people that monetize their channel, and you can look at that depending on how successful the channel is as a job. So it's a little bit of extra income depending, and it's really hard to make money on YouTube. So they're really struggling. and they really believe in what they're doing, and he's making fun of them and getting people to turn on them, yet he doesn't even work, and he's panhandling. In my opinion, he's worse than a hypocrite.
Yeah, so let me read this comment. Apparently you can't read. I told you that whore you're trying to make a housewife can fill you in just like Omni filled her up.
And he's talking about me.
He's talking about a gay guy too. Okay, a gay guy having sex with a woman. Okay, now please tell that bitch to go back to putting her 33 pounds of makeup on before putting that corpse mask she calls a face in front of the camera. That doesn't make sense. If she put 33 pounds on, it wouldn't be a corpse mask. Anyway, my son walked it by and was watching this horror flick and asked if he could be that for Halloween. He was pointing at your woman, Antonio. I said, you want to be a stay party? He said, no, I thought that was Skeletor. I remember the comment I replied to this one. He didn't reply back. I said, are you sure that you're not interpreting what your son said? Because what he actually said was, and pointed with his wrist.
We just back to ad hominem attacks. I mean, I want to focus on
not ad hominem, Nathan.
William Mukau's kind of ad hominem attacks, really. I mean, I just want to focus on the fact that what he's done is he's now literally doing the very thing he criticised people of. But when he criticised others of doing it, they weren't actually doing what he's doing. They were doing the normal channels that every other YouTuber who's got a successful channel can do. It's not like it's exclusive to Flat Earth. It's not like people have been exploiting specifically Flat Earth. Au contraire, when Flat Earth is demonized and hated by most people. So it's not like anybody's used this as a really great avenue to go into. The amount of times Patricia talked at the time Dan was criticizing her about the fact that she could have a makeup channel and make much, much, much more money from commercialization of a YouTube channel. Well, what Dan has done is not just flick on, yes, please, I'll have ads, probably because he knows full well that that's exactly what he's criticised. But he's gone to the other end of the extreme. He's stuck his hand out.
Not only that, he's made anybody who looks into the Flat Earth right now who sees that video think, God, what are these Flat Earthers? How pathetic are they? You know, they're unemployed and they ask other people for money. This is what they do. Don't they have a welfare system where they are, but somehow they just can't survive on the welfare system, which is set up so that people can survive? Oh, no, wait, what? Let's listen to the details. Oh, he wants to move 3,000 miles away from where he's living. Is that what it is? Why is he living there? Oh, because he moved these 3,000 miles away from where he was living. He went from Seattle, where it's too liberal for him, to the desert. And now he's complaining that the desert is too fucking hot. It's the desert, for God's sake. Anyway, queued up the interview with Patricia Stay.
I won't copyright strike you.
Can I say something really fast before you do that?
Yeah.
I just want to say that trying to word this right. I agree with what Nathan said in the beginning. It's very admirable to give money or to help someone in need. You know, I think that's a biblical thing to do, but you have to use wisdom. And listen to what Antonio's saying. Even if you don't agree with the way he's wording things or the words that he uses, look at Dan Pratt's character. Is this the kind of person that you want to send your hard-working money to? Just look at it. It's up to you. It's your money. Anyways.
Well, I mean, if there's a drunk on the street, literally on the street, and he screams across the street, your wife's a whore, and then sits down and puts his cap in front of you, in front of him, are you going to cross the street and give him $10?
No.
Well, that's what's happening. This guy's... Yeah, I'm lost for words.
Let me screen share, just so people can see this guy. When I saw this, I thought, oh, this poor guy's got a crush on this woman. And I didn't know Patricia at the time. It's just very obvious to me. But let's have a look to see whether or not anybody thinks this guy had a crush on this woman or not.
Or he was just happy to be there. That's the way I look at it.
One way or another.
Why would he turn against me?
Let's have a look, shall we?
Now look at you.
Speaking of government, I don my finest terrorist uniform for you, so I look like a government terrorist official for you.
You look nice. Well, we're used to seeing you wearing a tank top, so you clean up nicely.
A few minutes again, it's getting hot already. I gotta take it off.
Feel
There you go. That's about as much as I can stand. Look at that voyage screen. I mean, this is just so completely pathetic. And it doesn't matter that it's at Patricia's day. It's a person that later he calls a cunt, a bitch, and a whore. I just showed the messages. Unfortunately, I listened to Patricia, who said to me, don't leave those messages up, the ones that you sent back, because people will think that you're just poking fun at him, which I was, okay? And I said, no, I argued with her. I said, no, let me leave them there, because people will see that all I'm doing is I'm poking fun. I'm not attacking. I'm not saying horrible things about his wife. I'm not saying horrible things about him. I was saying, is it true what Omniero said, that you had a YouTube, X-Tube channel or things? And I did say that he's probably bovine and his wife is probably bovine. But I'm not saying that she is, because I don't know what she looks like or anything.
Well, for those who are watching and wondering why was Antonio having this thing on, you know, talking back and forth with Dan. Dan came out of the blue to the channel and left horrible comments, and Antonio responded with some pretty harsh stuff, but only to what Dan had put there. I was shocked to see him just swooping in like a vulture out of the blue onto this particular video and making comments. The video had nothing to do with him. He just wanted to say horrible things. And he's done it before on many, many videos directed at me and others, and in many comment sections of other people's videos, goading them on, thumbsing them up, saying that we're, you know, bringing in the New World Order and that sort of thing. He could easily monetize his own channel, have a Patreon account, that sort of thing, and make a few extra bucks. He criticized me and said that he only went on my channel, the video you just saw, back then, because he knew I was a user of other people, and he would pretend to want to be on the show so that he could use me back. And that you just saw him was him acting like he liked me. It wasn't real. That's how he spun it now. But in reality, we had a really great interview, and he was not hateful whatsoever. That only happened later, and I don't know what caused him to flip.
This is the comment I'm going to highlight again. This is the comment that came. It was on this Hangout where, whatever. Let me share this again. This is a comment. I didn't send a comment to him. He came and left a comment. It's YouTube. Comments are open. Anybody can leave any comment that they want. It shows people's quality, especially when they initiate comments. That's fine, okay? This is the comment, okay? Listen to Patricia chastise people that support channels that tear down others. Huh? When she not only supported but promoted Omnieres when he was the most abusive person in the flat earth. He was not in the flat earth. See, Patricia, people don't like you because you're a hypocritical cunt. Not that I can't be hypocritical at times as well, but at least I admit my faults. You seriously act as if you never do wrong. You're a fucking joke, and your bitch boy Antonio is 33 times worse. I actually laughed at this because it's such an infantile thing, this comment. It's infantile, which is Dan Pratt, okay? But this is what he said. All the women out there who like Dan Pratt. Patricia is a hypocritical cunt. Now, he's not, you know, he's just a man, you know, and he calls things how he sees them according to him. And now he doesn't have enough money to do things, so he's asking people to give him money. And like Nathan has said, people who have a charitable heart, fine, but remember where your money's going to. It's not going to a guy, I don't know, can we think of somebody totally inoffensive?
Rory Cooper.
Rory Cooper. That's a totally inoffensive guy, okay? Or
I don't know. I've had my fallouts with Rory Cooper.
Say again?
I've had a fallout with Rory Cooper over Thomas Sheridan.
Oh, all right. Let's say Martin Liedtke then.
Martin Liedtke, okay?
Yeah, fine.
Totally inoffensive guy. He's never said, give me some money, okay? Give me some money because I want to rent somewhere to live, or, you know, whatever. Martin Liedtke's got integrity. You know, that's what it comes down to, okay? If Martin needed to work at an abattoir, he would. Oh, sorry, Adam, you do. No, but if he needed to, he would. If he needed to work at McDonald's, he would. Dan Pratt is not prepared to do that. He's not prepared to engage with the corporate system that has the world in such a mess, in the bit where he's kind of helping it along by serving customers or whatever at McDonald's. No, he's prepared to prop up the system by buying shit at McDonald's. Because if you want to tell me that Dan Pratt never goes to McDonald's, I'm going to say I don't believe a word of it. Okay? Because that guy, he looks bovine. He looks like a cow. He eats a lot of beef. That's not wrong with eating beef, but not a lot of beef. That guy eats a lot of beef. But the point is, and yeah, that's an ad hominem. The point is, this is not a good guy. This is not a guy that's there trying to bring peace. This is not a good guy, a guy who's there just trying to help things to be better. This is a guy who wants the whole shit house to go up in flames whilst he hides behind other people. Let's not forget, Dan Pratt has asked people to go and put NASA under siege, even though he lives 20 minutes away from NASA. He's not prepared to go there. No, other people, you go there.
I'd like to read Amir's comment. So Amir left a comment on there saying, look, I'll help you out, bro, on Dan Pratt's video. We may have seen it as it scrolled up. And he's just left a comment in chat. I hate seeing people suffer in need because I've been there myself. So I don't have a problem helping Dan. Even commented that I would help when I could. I've got to admit, though, he's being very hypocritical.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
And how do you know that he's going to use the money for what he says? Because his character, he could be acting.
Yeah, yeah, he could. Okay, but what I'm thinking is, chances of him using his money. Okay, chances of this being the case, right? He gets $5 grand. He can afford to move 3,000 miles across the country back to Seattle. Okay, and he does. And that costs 2,000. Do you think that he would take the other 3,000 and give it to a charity, or give it to some homeless people, or buy gifts and give them randomly out as a stranger? Do you think that's what Dan Pratt would do? Or do you think he'd go, oh, the money these fuckwits gave me for free? That's what he'd do. But we'll pay it forward, I promise we will. No, you fucking won't. You can see by your actions what kind of person you are. What he would do is he'd make sure that his son had a better computer than his pal. That's what he would do.
I mean, that's speculation. Like that. We're just speculating what he might and might not do. That's not the point. The point is that if you're going to pay it forward with videos, that's what the advertising is there for. That's what Patreon is there for if you can't stand advertising. That's what these things are set up for, all of which is ignored. You know, I think in his video before last, he was saying, I've tried to keep my channel small. So, well, now you're putting your hand out. So, well, you tried to keep your channel small so you can keep under the radar. Just sod off. Much easier.
Yeah. The whole reason for keeping his channel small and closing it and restarting and closing it and restarting, the whole reason for it is that he thought, oh, what if the people that do the welfare come across it and go, hey, hold on, we're giving this guy welfare. What's he doing? Making money from YouTube. That's why we're gonna have to dock his benefits, his money. So he's like, no.
If you can sit there making videos, and he's made a whole number of them. I'm sure it's 100+ videos, most of which have been deleted by him. But he's made a lot of videos. Well, if you can do that, then you can do other things that are similar in the real world that make money, or make money from doing that.
Yeah. Monetize it and get popular and make more money.
This guy is just...
Well, he was criticizing me in comments on some videos, saying that I've made money off him and his hard work on the one interview that I did. And I think I might have made $8 or something. I mean, you know, people might think that on YouTube you make tons of money. You can if you've got like a channel that's got thousands and thousands of subscribers.
Hundreds of thousands of subscribers, then yeah, you'll make
like
money.
a video game channel or something along those lines. Definitely not Flat Earth. Even the biggest Flat Earth channels that monetize, and I'm not one of the biggest Flat Earth channels, they don't make a lot of money. They really don't. You know, what do people make on YouTube? If you've got a pretty okay channel, $200. $500 a month. I mean, yeah, who's going to say no to $200 to $500?
That doesn't pay your rent.
Pratts said no to $200 to $500, or if you've got a smaller channel, $50. He did it so that he could continue to get his benefits, which is fine if you get benefits. That's what the benefits are there for. But at the same time, criticize other people who've monetized their channel, and just criticize people because they look like a skeleton, or put a bunch of ad hominem attacks for no reason, and stirring other people up who are innocent people who don't really know the bigger picture of the ins and outs of what's really going on YouTube, to hate other content providers and false information that he would put out about the integrity of others and the desires of others created hate in the community and anger. And now he's like, oh, poor me. This is crazy.
Literally, poor me. That's what he's doing. Poor me.
You know what he's doing is like someone that's criticizing somebody for shopping at someone's store, a place of business, and he's standing outside the mall with a cardboard sign asking for money, but he's too lazy to even pick up a squeegee.
Yes. Or work at a call center, you know, answering calls or whatever.
He's not a nice man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying any of us here are perfect, or anybody that's in the chat or who's going to watch this later. But he's done horrible attacks on other people. And now this video that came out today goes against all of the attacks that he's made on other people that a lot of YouTubers will have forgotten, because he keeps deleting his videos. But his comments, at least that we've shown you today, remain, and you can also find them on random other videos scattered throughout internet land. And those comments manipulate the minds of other people because they're not true comments. All those things he said about me aren't true. The things he said about Omni Eris, who is a gay man who lives in Houston when I lived there, and he was a YouTube maker, and he wasn't a flat earther, but he and I contacted each other, and I met him and had a drink with him at a nearby restaurant, and we made a video, and he was saying he was interested in flat earth. We had a very brief friendship. He's a gay man, remember. Dan's accusing me of having sex with him in a car. This is disgusting, despicable.
No, not in a car, in a garage.
In a garage, in a car. Whatever. Where it was basically me lonely for other people who are connected in this conspiracy world of flat earth, having a really nice conversation, having some appetizers and a drink. Nothing about sex or drunkenness. Later, Omni Eris went on to make lots of vile attacks against Dan. Some of them were funny too, but I had nothing to do with Omni Eris doing that at that point. Omni Eris and I aren't even friends anymore because he started doing lots of attacks even on me. So, you know, I didn't know Omni Eris. I didn't know what kind of guy he was back then. I just thought he was a nice, funny guy. But Omni's attacks on Dan, nothing to do with me, and they didn't happen during the time that I knew Omni Eris, or if they did, I was completely unaware of it. And I am not the police woman for who's attacking who. I can't stop people from attacking. I can ask everybody to stop attacking. That's all really I can do. And some might say, oh, you're attacking Dan Pratt right now. No, we are responding to Dan Pratt's incessant attacks against myself and others that are in the community. And in general, even if you've not been attacked by Dan Pratt, you have been in a way. It's like a mental attack. It's an attack on your consciousness to be manipulated the way he's doing it in the past and now.
So this kind of started with Antonio getting struck by Jeff Stewart, despite the fact it was perfectly within fair use. But there we go. You know, you then started a channel called Antonio Strikes Back. And from then to here, it's reached a point where the quote-unquote potatoes have gone, nah, we're not going to sod this. Why are we having to put up with people who are projecting their own nonsense constantly onto us? You know, you talk about Dan Pratt accusing you of sleeping with Omni Eris in a garage, and he films his videos in a garage, does he not? You know,
I don't know. It's a spare room now.
You know, the very thing that he has criticised all people who monetize their channels and are flat earthers, he has now done something 10 times worse. You know, when it's not reward. If Amir gives Dan Pratts some pennies, that's not a reward for his videos. That's sympathy for him being in need. It's nothing to do with any of his passing on information. He's not paying anything forward. He's literally just sticking his hand out. And I've never done that. If you watch my videos, you can skip the ads. If you feel wronged for having been forced to watch 3 seconds of an ad every half an hour, then, well, I can't help that. But, you know, those are the rules that we play within. That's it. We understand that while we're fighting a system, we're still in it. You know, we still have to go with certain rules. We can't just demand that people give us money. We can, and unfortunately it'll play on the heartstrings of certain people who do have sympathy, that are kind-hearted. Well, this isn't a kind-hearted person that we're, you know, handing out our pennies to. I'll more than happily donate to Globebusters cause when they've literally invested the money already in a balloon. They've shown commitment, they're doing it, and they've gone, we've gone over budget. It'd be great if we could have some help from the community. That's different. That's not somebody saying, you know, help us and support us, but just because we need it, I've got to go somewhere, I've got to move house. That's not what, you know, Bob and Jaron have done. They've invested their money in a scheme, not a scheme, a project, and they've then asked for help. That's very, very different to just saying, I'm in need, I'm just desperately poor, I can't get any money the other way.
Hey, Amir.
I was going to say, Amir is a really good, kind-hearted man.
Hi, guys.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, that's not what she was saying before.
No, I wasn't.
I'm joking. Okay, also, let's remember this. If you read between the lines, what Dan Pratt is saying is, I'm in a spick neighborhood. I'm in a Hispanic neighborhood. My landlady is Hispanic. She doesn't like me. I want to move away from here. Not to some other non-spick neighborhood.
Yeah, but he said in past videos, Antonio, did he not say in a past video that he's so close with his neighborhood and they like him?
Yeah. So
now all of a sudden they hate him.
And the laws are in America, he was saying his landlord won't renew his lease. I can't remember exactly. I'm paraphrasing here. Won't renew his lease, and that's not an option. I know the laws in America. I've always been a renter. I've never owned my own home, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I guess. The landlord cannot just say, I don't like the cut of his jib, we're not renewing your lease. If you're a good tenant and you pay your rent on time, you can re-sign a new lease unless the building's being demolished or something. And that's not what he said. For some reason, he's saying his landlord doesn't like him and they have to move. Well, that's not how it really works with the properties in Houston. It's all owned by companies. It's a big properties with multiple tenants. It's not an individual house. He has said he lives in an apartment complex. I know that because of a phone call I made. It's a complex. And he chose to live in the neighborhood that he chose to live in, and I'm sure there's wonderful people there. Why he brought up the fact that the woman that's the landlord is Hispanic is beyond me. It has no play in any of this, and it was all part of this. You can see the little cracks and the hate and the anger inside Dan Pratt. That's not righteous anger at the powers that should not be. It's just anger. Yeah. Or occasionally it's peace and love when he wants something, which in this case is money, and playing on people's heartstrings in a really, really transparent way. And it's really actually shocking. And I'm sure I'm going to be blasted by flat earthers for, you know, saying something against. But, you know, the potatoes, which there aren't any, but the potatoes have been quiet for too long, taking all this abuse, name calling, and false accusations, and I'm mad as hell and not going to take it anymore.
Only earlier today, somebody made a really cool video. Nathan, do you want to? Do you have that channel that really?
I assumed it was you.
No. He's only got a few videos, and this guy sees things clearly.
Or girl, we don't know.
Or girl, yeah. So I put a good comment, you know, an encouraging comment, and along comes someone saying, what the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck are you saying, Little Red Riding Hood? You satanic fuck or something. Because I'm obviously a Satanist or a Luciferian or something dark. Obviously, to some people, that's what I am. What I do and what I say, none of it actually counts. None of it matters. It's all just the images and the ideas that they have in their brain. That's
And
what.
notice the very people who will cry foul when we do something like this. Oh my God, the potatoes of hell have just attacked Dan. It's like, no, let's get this straight. Non-stop, over and over again. Or we can use someone that maybe is a bit more controversial. Let's use cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance will attack everybody non-stop. I've got A4 in the various chats moaning about this at the moment. You know, he's been doing it for years. Yeah, you postulate that his made-up nonsense brother is whatever, and suddenly attack after. It's like, what are you doing? You know, we poke once in retaliation, and suddenly we're the demons and the monsters. And the very people who do this all day long.
This is very apt, because the comment that I left to this guy's video, or this girl's video, was, yeah, you know, there's all these people who throwing stones who cry foul when you throw one of them back. You know, it's like, yes, we should be at a stage of humanity where stones don't get thrown. But the idea that we're at that stage right now, we're not at that stage. And people can make insult videos all day long, and they do, over and over, and they affect other people. They make videos, and other people think, oh, well, I'll either not bother making videos because they might make videos like this about me, so they get put off from contributing, or they go, yeah, I think I'll side with this person, because if I side with the other people, this person might attack me. And that's what this is all about. Continuous attacking. And Dan Pratt, that's what his whole channel is about. It's about attacking the government. It's about attacking the New World Order. It's about attacking the windmills with his Don Quixote lance. It's about attacking things that you can't attack. It's not, well, if we all got together, we could shut down NASA. No, if you all got together, you could all get arrested together. That's what. You don't shut down McDonald's by picketing outside McDonald's. You shut down McDonald's by not going there. And by telling other people.
Vote with your feet. Exactly, Antonio. You vote with your feet. You turn your back. I mean, while this Hillary and Trump thing's been going on, I've had to, because everybody's so into it. I know JLB did a response video, and his reaction was the same as mine. You get sucked into this stuff because everyone's so into it. Until that point, I had no idea what was going on, and I didn't care. It had no effect on me whatsoever. As soon as you start engaging with it, you're affected by it.
Yeah. And what?
Can I just say as well?
I want to hear. Yeah.
Yes.
Go.
I was just really disappointed that this has turned out like this, because if Dan had the way he was previously, like during the time when he was on Patricia's show, if he continued that path, he would have been making money from his channel. And now, right, as we speak, he would have been making enough for him to have not had to have made that video. So I agree that it's super, like, because I was myself raised like if someone's in need, like, you should help them if you can. So like when I see people suffering, like, because I've been there myself, I know it's difficult, so I tend to sort of like sympathize with them more than, you know. But like watching your guys, like I'm a bit behind. I'm a bit 10 minutes behind on what you guys have been saying. But the messages that he sent you, Antonio, like just completely just,
well, this is the thing. I mean,
it just went out the window. It's really horrible, sad to see that.
Well, what he's been doing, you know, he's pulled down his channel like it's at least 4 times.
Yeah.
So by pulling his channels, you lose all of the comments that were there. So my comments to him, encouraging him way back when, before he started attacking individuals, they're gone. All the encouraging comments. There must have been encouraging comments from Patricia, but they're gone. So now you can't check. You can't see the timeline of what's happened, which was Patricia liked him. She could see the state of him, all of those things, but she thought, I'm going to see if I can give this guy a platform to, you know, basically explain. And you can see his video with her, you know, the interview. You can see what's going on there. Then snidey attacks against others, because at first there were no attacks against other flat earthers. All the flat earthers were like, yeah, have you seen this dude? Have you seen that one? That's what we were all doing. That's what everybody else was doing. One guy started all of the snidey little shit stirring. Okay, I'm not going to say his name, but there was one guy that started this shit stirring, that started to try to divide. You should be doing what I'm doing, is what this guy was saying. And then that's where everything started getting fractured. And from that point on, Dan Pratt was pulling down his channel, and you can't find the positive comments about him. So now he can make out, for instance, like, I've always hated him. No, I wouldn't just go around hating people. I detest him. I think he's deplorable as a human being. I genuinely do. It doesn't mean that
before you rant about how much you hate him, which I know
I
you
wasn't
do.
going to. I was going to say.
Can I just do? I will cut you off anyway because I want to get my point, which is that I want to make a few connections. Well, we've got people who are in the religious factions who see external forces of good and evil, right? And they project those onto external entities. Well, you've got this guy who we would say, all of you people watching, have got great abilities, great, if you want to put it in quotes, power. Probably not the best term, but you've got this. Well, let's look at Dan for a second. This is one guy. Now, as one individual, when he was on the track for good things, there's no angel on his shoulder. It's just one guy doing his thing. He's managed to, get Jaren's attention and promotion. He's got his information about NASA and the government out to lots of people, support. That's one guy just doing his thing. Same guy decides that he's going to do a slightly different thing. And here we are at the end of it with him in tears, begging. Well, that's not a devil that's taken him down that path. It's him. And he's still creating chaos in evil. Well, the people who control us, they do the same thing. They can choose whether or not they use their inner ability to create chaos, burn it all to the ground, make everybody argue and have horrible comments everywhere. You can choose to do that, or you can choose to push for good as an individual without some devil sat on your shoulder. Dan has done this. This is all Dan. He has got to where he is now through his own doing. So at this point, do I want to help him? Not really, frankly. Would I support him? Would I watch his ads? Absolutely. I still watch Dan Pratt. I'm a subscriber. Have been to every one of his channels. I've commented. I would have watched his ads and he would have money as a direct result of me watching them. Instead of that, am I going to give you money, Dan? No.
Guys, can I just say? Oh, sorry, Adam.
No, you go on. Go on.
I was just gonna say, just some advice for Dan, because here in the UK we have something called a hardship fund. So if you've got children, and you're on state benefits, they have to support you if you are in need. And if we have it here, I'm pretty sure you guys have something similar there. So I think there are still options for him, and he should pursue them because that's what they're for, right?
This is the thing, Amir. I think, I don't know how long he's been on disability. I think he's got to the point where he's justifying not working because it's working for the man, it's working for the beast. And it is, if that's your point of view. If you want to see it as it's actually helping society to progress, then that's
Wait, hold on. Yeah, but he's asking for money from other people that are in the system.
Yes.
That's hypocrisy, right?
Yes.
So he doesn't want to work for the system, yet he's asking for money from people that work for the system. That's sick.
Yes, so this is what I was going to say. What he's doing is he's saying, guys, I can't be asked. And let's face it, he has done this. He's literally said this before. He said, you guys go and do shit that I don't want to do, okay? Because I've got family that I care about. You fuckers who don't have family who you care about, you go and do it, okay? That's what he's done. He said, we should all go, you should all go and boycott the TV stations. Go outside and do a protest. Not me, you guys go and do it. He said to Jaren, Globebusters, any of the bigger channels that they should be directing people to doing the things that he thinks that they should do, but not him. So he's very happy to say to people, you're all shit because you all work for the system, and all you shitheads who don't have people that you care about, you should all go and besiege people that I tell you should go and besiege, but not me. And now he's saying, you guys who work for the man, give me some of your money. That's what he's doing. Like Adam just said, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and how would, okay, the people that watch this video and would send him money out of the kindness of their heart, how would they feel if they got a private message on YouTube or an email with him asking for money? Would that be different than a video? And if somebody is wondering, well, why are you guys doing this public for people to see? Well, he made a public video, and Antonio is just showing evidence, and we have that right.
Yes, and not only that, but his comment was on our Hangout. Sorry, I have a cat being
That's
a devil.
going crazy.
So we made a Hangout, and he came on just checking me and my bitch, you know, which I think means just keeping you in line, you know, in English terms. I'm just keeping you and your bitch in line. Like, dude, you're not keeping shit.
But
yeah,
I know you use profanity a lot, but why would anybody use profanity against me? It just is uncalled for, not because I'm a woman, but because I don't put that out.
It's jealousy. If you look at the bottom line, that's what it is. If you strip away all of it, it's jealousy.
That's what I've been saying all the time, Amir and Nathan.
You are spot on. It is jealousy. In most cases, not just this one, it's often jealousy. Yeah. But we've got a system that he's telling us that we should bring down. Let's pretend for 1 second that everyone took everything he said literally and did it. They went out, they brought the system down, and that relinquished him of all of his benefits because the system had been brought down. He'd be the first one crying.
Yes, he would. And he'd be the first guy hiding behind his sofa. That's what he'd be doing. Hiding behind his sofa.
Lost my benefits as a result. Yeah, that's what would happen.
Including the medication that he would need if he's on disability. All of that would go, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All of it would go. And I bet you... no, okay.
And also the platform he's using to try to bring them down. Because you see, the ironic thing is that the platform he's using to ask for money is the man he's trying to fight. So by doing that, really, by making that video, he's making the man money. Because now you've got this video, you've advertised it. So, you know, indirectly, he's making the money, isn't he?
And even on his own channel, anybody...
Sorry, Antonio, is whether he likes it or not, and all of us this applies to, we are part of the system. The system still exists. Whether we like it or not, we can blart all day. I saw Issa Mahal and, not Jibby Jedi, Political Hillbilly. And Political Hillbilly would say, well, look, you should get in touch if you're a free man travelling on, not a free man, but somebody who's travelling freely on the roads. Get in touch with the government and say, look, I'm going to be travelling through your parts. And his reaction was, it's not their roads. And he's right. Of course he's right. Yeah, it's not. But that doesn't change the fact that they think they are. That system is still in place, whether we like it or not.
And let's remember, because everybody here uses YouTube. You're watching this on YouTube. You've got YouTube, and you've got adverts within the video. Yes. And you also have a side menu with all suggested videos. Yeah. And above that, you've got adverts. YouTube advertises. That's what it does. It's what I'm saying. It's the man. Whether you put adverts in your videos or not, there's still whatever the advert was, you know, for boots or for frigging racers or whatever the advert was. There's an advert there that your brain sees. You know, whether you ignore it or not, it goes in there. You know, so the next time you go shopping, you might be leaned towards that shelf that sells that product that you saw on YouTube. You know, the YouTube is the man. And he's using the man to say, bring down the man. Okay, what we would have if everything got brought down, and let's suppose that some feeding system was arranged amongst communities, what Dan Pratt would do is he would be just shouting at people. If there was no YouTube, he would be shouting at people, telling them how they're doing everything wrong.
So the channel you were talking about has just come into the chat. Flat Earth Free Platform. I'm pretty sure that was the channel.
Yes.
You know, and he's just come in and said, one guy in the chat, Ryan, has said, this is wrong, Nathan, I don't agree with this. He's come in and said, sorry, Ryan, Dan's a gold digger.
Yes, he is. So this guy's channel, he's got very few videos and very few subs. And I saw it and I thought, not because it's sympathetic to me. If I had nothing to do with it, I would still think, yeah, good. This guy's calling this dickhead a dickhead.
And no one really has called Dan Pratt or what seemed for a while like his teammates, Star Gods, who would piggyback on each other's hater videos they'd come out with in the same week, maybe on the same day or a day apart, harshly criticizing people for monetizing their channel or for not doing anything. Or as Dan famously said, all you do, meaning me, is talk, 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 and do nothing. And what you need to do is go tear down NASA. And then he did this video that I found particularly reprehensible. He showed these pictures of children in Syria and elsewhere, all like their arms ripped off and blood all over. And he showed these pictures like one after another, and held me responsible for the deaths of children in other countries. And it was shocking that people were watching this and going, yeah, thumbs up, Dan, you're right. The potatoes, that's all they do is talk. They don't take action. And this is how our world. I was like, are you kidding me?
So if you want to know how a manipulative person acts and talks and the things they say, the images they portray, have a look at Dan Pratt. That's how they behave. They say that other people are only talking. I've made videos with little experiments and stuff. Doesn't matter. Patricia doesn't just do talking. She also has other people doing just talking. But Dan Pratt literally does just talking.
Right,
That's
so I've got, again, Ryan in the chat saying, if you want to do this stuff, do it with Dan. Well, the problem is, Ryan, that Dan does this, what we're doing right now. Now, we've all appealed to him. We've said this, maybe you've come in late on this chat. We've all appealed to him in various different ways. I've appealed to him saying you can make money on YouTube. Patricia's appealed to him and said, you know, carry on doing good stuff. Antonio's appealed to him. He's deleted all of that. All of that's gone. Those channels no longer exist. All we have left with is what we have now, which is him saying, if I've made a difference to you, please give me money. That's what we're left with. Now, up until now, I have been, I'm not going to say the only one, who's gone, I don't tolerate any of this crap. Come and attack me. I will just attack you tenfold. Pick up a stone and chuck it at me. I'm going to pick up the nearest boulder. I don't care when people criticize me for it. I'm just not going to tolerate it. And I have encouraged, positively encouraged, people like Patricia and Antonio to do the same. Why tolerate it? We are just human. Taking the high road is all well and good. But unfortunately, it comes a point when taking the high road just leads to people thinking these guys are easy targets.
Also,
I can just attack these guys whenever I like. I can make a video calling Patricia a man and I can get away with it. No one's going to criticize me. In fact, everyone around me will support me. Well, yeah. I can encourage people like Patricia to say, no, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah, but hold on.
In fact, my platform's bigger than yours and I will personally humiliate you on it. And Dan, that's what we're doing. If you want to beg, we're going to humiliate you like you've tried to humiliate many of us on multiple occasions. If people like Ryan don't like it and don't want to watch, we take no pleasure in this. Yes. It's a retaliation. And people might say, oh, it's base, it's just so low. Well, unfortunately, sometimes you have to get in the dirt to do this. And I'm not afraid to do that. I will sink to their level, no problem.
Nathan, let me take over here a second. Ryan, bear this in mind. All that would need to happen for no criticism of Dan Pratt on a platform like this is for Dan Pratt to say, no thanks. Then nobody will be able to criticize him. If the only way to criticize him is to have him on, then all you'd have to say is, no thanks. I will carry on making horrible videos about people, and you can't do shit about it because unless I'm there, it doesn't count. So no, dude, go and watch Dan Pratt's videos and see what, well, you can't now because he's just recently pulled them all. Okay, but this is what he does. If you're not familiar, this is what Dan Pratt does. He cries foul, he pulls down his channel, he restarts. He did an apology video apologizing to Patricia Stay for how nasty he'd been to her. But you
lasted less than 24 hours before he pulled it.
Yeah, it was up for less than 24 hours because the people who were commenting on it were saying, can't believe you've done. It was actually, I was touched by it because I thought, I think this guy might have a bit of a soul in him because he was teary. I don't notice that he can just turn the tears on, okay? But the point is, he made this video apologizing to Patricia Stay for having been so nasty, okay? And the comments were saying, oh, what are you now, a fucking pussy making this video? Fucking, I'm going to unsub if you carry on like this. So he pulled that video. He's a shit. I'm saying, by the way, in my normal life, I don't swear like this. Patricia knows, you know, I don't. It's just when I get to the end of my tether, what are you going to do? Say, he's not a very nice man. Well, okay, he's not a very nice man. There's something wrong there. And he says that he's a flat earther. So we have to kind of put up with him somehow being a flat earther, and people listening to him who are also flat earthers being manipulated into thinking that what he's saying is right. That's what we should do. We should besiege NASA. Are you coming with us, Dan? Dan? Are you?
He won't come. No.
Yeah. He'll be like,
Yeah, very well said.
hang up the phone.
Yeah, I
Seems like he gets peer pressure influences him a lot as well.
Yes. This is what, and I said this to him on the message on that video, you know. I said, dude, you know, bygones be bygones, let's just move on. You know? That's what I said. You can't read that comment though, because he's removed the freaking video. So now I'm gonna seem like just a hateful guy. It's like, no, I'm not a hateful guy. I have a lot of patience. In fact, people who know me, oh, he's so chilled and all of this. The guys that made the daytime nighttime video, go and watch their explanation of it and listen to how they describe me, because it's kind of nice actually how they describe me. I'm a mellow guy. It takes a lot for me to get to this tone of voice. I hate it. I can hear it. It's really high. I would prefer to talk a bit more mellowly and less stressy. But Dan Pratt is a piece of shit human being who gets himself into messes, then cries until other people, be it the state or be it you in America by proxy through the state, to help him out. And then he complains that people aren't helping him out. That's what's happening.
What about all the times when he pulls his channel and then there's people who are kind and they do these campaigns like, you know, hashtag bring Dan back or whatever it was, or even prior to that, it's like people making videos saying bring Dan back, and compilation videos using Dan Pratt's, you know, varying good clips from some of his videos. That is all manipulation. I used to think it was real. This is a real guy, but it's manipulation. He stirs people up to bring Dan back, and then he comes on and he's like, I'm back, and starts slamming into everybody. And then occasionally he'll do a good, worthwhile video.
I'm all for holding people up who have taken hold of their inner God-given ability and done something with it. So I'm a big admirer of you, Patricia. I'm not afraid to say it. And lots of other people see this too. They go, wow, that person's taken charge. They've done something. They're passing out their message. You know, they're getting more popular by doing so. And more people are hearing it. That's wonderful. That's what it's all about for me. So to prop up somebody who's doing the absolute opposite, putting his hand out, asking the very people who he's trying to bring down for help, moaning when they stop giving him, oh, God, it makes me sick. We're all for promoting your inner ability. You can do whatever you like, Dan. You can. You have the inner ability. You have managed to cause lots of disdain. Before that, you managed to cause lots of happiness and lots of positivity. You know, you got a good message across. Well, you did all those things of your own volition. Nobody helped you. You did them. And you can do much, much, much more. Why put your cat out? Why ruin that? Demonstrate your inner ability to people and hope that they will do the same. Turn your back on the TV station and hope that by demonstrating your ability to do this, to detach from the systems that you moan about, that other people will follow suit. That's all you can hope for. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
He still watches TV. And he's urging people to boycott and shut the TV stations down. But he still watches TV. Now,
even YouTube's a part of the system.
Yeah, yeah, of course. GT's in the comments. It's a good comment. Okay, GT, if you go back to the start of the video, you'll see why we're doing this. They're saying that GT saying that people are getting fed up with the flat earth, which is what the powers, want. Have you made this comment to Dan Pratt and to Jeff Stewart and to all of those other people? I wouldn't be surprised if you had made this comment. But the point is, we're human beings, and when you get attack after attack after attack, it's all fine turning the other cheek, but you end up where all that you're doing is turning the other cheek. You're not moving forward. Okay.
Antonio, just a quick observation. I've noticed with Patricia's show, she gives other people a voice. Dan takes away people's voice.
Well made, man. Because people watch Dan Pratt videos criticizing other people in the flat earth, and they'll say, I'm not jumping in here. I had a good observation about X, Y, and Z, but I'm not going to put it out there because this guy might criticize me too.
That's Adam. That's so profound. That's genius, because that's true from, I'm going to say, all of them. That's what they all do. So you come along and say, this is how we see things. This is how the world might be. This is an experiment that's been done. You're just passing out information by saying, who are these people to talk about urine therapy? Well, and just talking about it, what difference does it make to you? You don't have to engage in that. If you're not interested, don't engage. It's as simple as that. But people will say they shouldn't be talking about this. You shouldn't be associating with these people. And frankly, a lot of the haters, I'm not going to mention them, but I still watch their videos, you know, and it bugs me that I feel I shouldn't be commenting in their chat feeds, but for fear. You know, I'm not the biggest scared person in the world, but you wonder, am I just going to get a load of attack from another fellow flat earther when all I want is the information? You know, I'll filter out all the crap where they're telling you what you should and shouldn't do, shouldn't watch, the people you should and shouldn't associate with, and try and take on board the good information. But often, most of it is telling you what you shouldn't do, not just passing on data.
Someone might say, we're telling people what they shouldn't do, that we're saying, hashtag don't support Dan Pratt. It's not really like that. I think we're letting people know what Dan Pratt's been doing in case you didn't know and just thought this was this genuine, sincere guy angry at the powers that should not be. That's his cover
Which is exactly what I thought before else you guys did this.
Yeah, that's the cover story. And we can, if we had all those old videos where he's screaming at the camera, primarily I would say about me, but about many other flat earthers too. And but he deletes his channel, and he deletes it so the benefits keep coming in. He can't monetize it for
and
that
people
reason.
can't go back and check his messages.
He made an apology video to me where it looked like we've already discussed, where it really looked like he was crying. Now I see that that was fake because he was pressured. He either wanted to take it down on his own or was pressured by people who were like, "You can't. You're going to be a potato, Dan, if you continue, you know, being nice to her. Where's that Dan we love and respect? Go get her. Tear her a new one." And so he deleted that video and then started, quote, tearing me a new one again. This is the man you want to give money to? You know, I don't want anybody to suffer. I don't want his children to suffer if that's the case. But
what's he doing, bringing in his children into it?
I agree. And he can do things, even if he's got
emotional effect.
He can do things with the bad back. He did say,
but this means that he uses his children.
Well, true. But
for emotional effect. He uses his children for emotional effect. In Barcelona, you have gypsies in the street with babies. Okay, they're sitting on the street looking all forlorn. This is just their baby that they pass around. I've seen this. This is what they do. At the end of the day, the next one comes to replace them. This one gets in a van and they pass the baby over. That's what they do. That's how the baby grows up.
And there's people with real babies on the street who are homeless and this sort of thing. Of course, you have to make your own decision when you're going to donate money. But in this case, this situation, it's definitely not a situation in which there is a man who's in need. He may have a bad back and he may be on disability, as he says. I'm just going to say he does. He can do things in his house. Hey, how about monetize your channel on YouTube? That's one thing you can do. If you're spending the time it takes to sit there in front of a computer and make videos, not videos about other people, but videos about ideas and concepts and ways to handle the world and the ways to look at the world differently. If you can do that, you can, he has the physical stability and stamina to do that, so he could do something out of his house if he needed to make money.
There are crippled people who work at my local superstore who are literally crippled, okay? And they work there. Now, I know these people would be on benefits and not have to work. That is the system we have in the UK because they're crippled. I mean, they have withered hands, they're crippled people, and they fit all the criteria for not having to work, but they choose to because their mentality, they're contributing. Totally fair enough. He isn't crippled, okay? And he brings in his children. Like Patricia mentioned the video. I saw the video. A portion. I don't like watching videos of dead babies, But you follow Dan Pratt, here's a video with dead babies. Okay.
That are my fault because they're dead.
These dead babies are the result of Patricia Steer. These dead babies, they're not the result of political misunderstandings or evil doing up at the upper chambers of society. No, it's Patricia Steer with her 9,000 subscribers. That's who did these dead babies. And let's remember, he's living and complaining about living in Texas because it's too hot. He went to Texas from Seattle, where it's not too hot. The reason he left Seattle was that it was too liberal for him. Just, that's not good enough. So I'm going to go to a state that's more Republican, more conservative. So he goes from Seattle to Texas. Now he's in Texas, and let's face it, what he's asking for is not so that he can move or carry on paying his rent. It's not they've had a big problem and they just need money. He wants, doesn't need, wants to move back to Seattle. That's what it is.
He theorized that in one video that I was going to get pregnant by Antonio. This wasn't a real relationship. I was going to come here, get impregnated, which at 53 is impossible, but okay, fine. And then have an abortion and then come back to Texas with my tail between my legs in 6 months. This is the kind of things that this man has made about me. This is who we're supporting. Is this a flat earther? Does he have the spirit of a flat earther? A person who's realized there's a creator and that it's one love. We can have differences of opinions with the one love and the creator, but this is not a nice man.
This is why I say that there are Christians out there who call themselves Christians and are not Muslims, and they're not Muslims, and Jews or whatever, who are not the thing that they say they are. Then there are people who are the things they say they are, and then there are people who are those things and don't even say it. I know Muslims, and I just happen to know that they're Muslim, but they don't go around saying it, and I know that they're good people. And the same with Jews, and the same with Christians, who you don't even know what their religion is, okay? And then there are people who say that they're flat earthers, and they're not. So this is a guy who says that he's a flat earther. Somehow he's not figured out that the mind of God has got everything under control according to whatever the mind of God is doing. Okay? He's not figured that out. It's up to us little minions to go and bring down NASA. No, maybe the only way to get to the next stage is by having had NASA and having been on the globe and discovering and knowing that there's a God. Not thinking that there is or hoping, but knowing. Maybe that's what's going on. But no, never mind that. I want to move back to Seattle and I can't afford it. Can somebody send me some money, please? I wouldn't be doing this. I'll pass it forward, I swear. Me and my wife will pass it forward because my children, poor things.
But where was the pass it forward when he was slamming other flat earthers? The pay it forward or whatever it's called. Where was that? Where was that giving other people, allowing them the dignity that they have, acting with kindness? Now he'll do it if you give him money, but before that he's like flipping me off in the camera and screaming at the top of his lungs. I've only been nice to the guy. I've never said a harsh word till now. Never made a negative comment. Shared his videos. Had him on my show.
Nathan.
Yeah, but true, hold on, let me say something. True tolerance is patient, hears other people's points of view, cares about that person as much as themselves, searches the whole matter out. Dan seems to be only tolerant of those that agree with him.
Nathan, do you have the video from the Flat Earth Free platform?
Not to hand, unfortunately.
Adam is like the silent wise man that speaks only few words, but every word that he says means a lot.
I know.
Oh, I can't say that. Never mind. I was going to say that was wise, but then that would be pride. I'm leaving. Never mind.
No, Adam, you're so valued.
It's so true. And I always think, shit, you just said 57 words. You just said 7. Damn it. No, I don't think, damn it. I think cool. But
I think maybe we've done enough. If you plug that channel again at the end, just so people can have a look at it. But I wanted to end with a point that Caveman 444 made, which is that if you want to know who's the fascists out there, just look at the people who are telling you not to associate with others.
And I like Caveman 444. I watched that video and that really spoke to me a lot. And yeah, if anyone has not seen that video, go on his channel and watch it. What's it called again? The name of the video?
I can't remember. It's something about it's got the word fascists in the title. I can't remember the exact title.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go. I think it's his latest video. I've got the video pulled here, Nathan. It's 4 minutes. I think it's a great video, by the way.
It's a great way
to. I'll stick a link in the chat. I mean, I want to just round this out here rather than playing it on this show. We'll put it up on in the description box. But yeah, did you want to plug that other channel though? And before we do end this broadcast,
say again.
Do you want to plug that other channel? We've said it a couple of times, just so people can have a look at it.
Flat Earth Free Platform. I thought that, you know, we can round it out. I mean, if it was on my Hangout, I would play the video and round it out.
Hold on, I just want to say one more thing. And just a quick thought. And don't let somebody manipulate you because of your kindness. You know, just because you're a kind person and you want to help somebody is a good thing. And he knows that it's a good thing. So he's using that against you.
So if I can just point something out. On Flat Earth Free Platform, that's the channel, there I left a comment. I like what you're doing. I hope you make many more. Too many people out there thinking it's fine to throw stones and scream foul when someone throws a stone back. There's somebody called Freedom Awaits who writes, "What the fuck are you on about, fucking Satanist? Fuck you, Little Red Riding Hood. I see you." This person is a Dan Pratt supporter. This is what this is, because the video...
Hold on. No, it has nothing to do with a Dan Pratt supporter. It has everything to do about truth. Stop trying to back a certain individual and look at the evidence, because he might be saying some things that you agree with, but really, what is he all about? What is the evidence saying? You know, I'm a Christian and I do love the Lord, but I'm not going to let someone manipulate me and use my emotions for wanting to help someone just so that they can use me. So you have to really look at this. And people that are following Dan, really look at his stuff and really see what he's all about. He manipulates, he verbally abuses people, and he's worse than a hypocrite to me right now. So in my opinion, I'm going to be really bold to say this, is that somebody that you want, because you have choices to make. Every day you go on YouTube, I choose what I'm going to watch. Is that somebody that you want to watch?
Yeah, notice what Adam's saying. He's not saying don't watch him. He's saying look at what he's saying, listen to what he's actually offering, as opposed to what we get. Why, let's stop supporting them. We'll make sure you've got zeros. No.
Yeah, the amount of times that I've been told I'm over, this is over for you, this is the end of you, this is continuously. This is just some group of people think that they're going to do this and somehow it's going to happen into the real world. And they do it at Patricia, and they do it at Nathan, they do it at a whole bunch of people. I'm sure even Amir has had comments telling him, yeah. So, yeah.
And Adam, for sure.
Yeah. People saying, if we look at what's going on, there are people who call themselves flat earthers. We expect this from the globelings. To some globelings, the truth is, to their mentality, we are just mistaken and we don't understand. That's their mentality. And some of them try to tell us, and some of them, from that point of view, say, look at you, you fucking idiots. I can't believe you don't know we're on a spinning globe. That's their mentality, okay? But then there are flat earthers, inverted commas, not flat earthers, who go to other flat earthers and encourage them to do really nasty stuff. Now, are these people actually flat earthers? No. Could these people be globelings pretending to be flat earthers? Yes. Could there be shills? Yes. Could there be trolls paid? Yes. Who knows? All they're doing is causing dissent. And I agree with GT. This causes dissent. It causes fractioning. It causes all kinds of stuff. But the truth is, I welcome the splitting, because I don't want people who would tar and feather somebody for their difference of opinion I don't want that person being classed as the same class of people as me, if there's a class of people.
You mean like a flat earther?
No, just if you hate someone because their observation or their point of view differs from yours, there's no difference from hating someone because their skin is different to yours, or their sexuality is different to yours,
Or their religion.
or their religion. You know. So Nathan, I'm going to play the video. Is that okay?
Yeah, cool. Let's play that video and then we'll round out after.
Video. And
Is
there's
this
several videos.
Caveman 444?
No, this is the video from Flat Earth Free Platform.
That it just
I tell you what, I'll play the two. That one and Caveman 444. Although I did have a problem, it just kept buffering every 3 seconds. It was buffering, Nathan.
Well, if that happens, we'll just round it out. If not, we'll play it through. But
Okay.
if you get it up, and then hopefully it'll buffer a bit while Patricia gets out what she was trying to say.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. Some of the greatest points I never made, Antonio.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll cue the two up. I'll cue Flat Earth Platform and I'll cue Caveman.
Yeah. The Flat Earth Free Platform, they just seem to pop on my radar today as a channel. Maybe they've been out before, but I don't think so. With several good videos, some using comedy and some using just straight up good sense talking. And we're about to see one that really puts everything into perspective when it comes to love and charity toward your fellow man. But are we going to see the Caveman one first?
No, we're going to do it the other way around. Okay. We're going to see
Flat Earth Free Platform's new video.
Yes, we'll see that video, and then we will see. We will round it up nicely with Caveman 444.
Right.
What do you think, Nathan?
Sounds perfect.
Okay.
I knew he was going to say those exact words.
Yes. Okay, so here we go.
I thought he was going to say ace.
Here we go.
Am I sharing? Is it working?
I knew you were going to say that too.
Okay. This is Flat Earth Free Platform. Volume.
God bless you, sir. And no, it's okay. Like, we were doing the same thing for him, and we saw you crying here, and we just wanted to see what was going on.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Hopefully this will pay for him to get out.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh my God.
He was crying about his dog?
Yeah.
What happened?
He needs to get it licensed.
What's his procedures to get it out?
He needs to talk to animal control, and they'll tell him everything he needs to do.
Take my phone number. We're gonna get your dog back.
Oh, bro.
Whether that works out or not, I don't know. But all of our money is tied up in the move now, and without that, my income coming in, I gotta do the hardest thing it is for me to do, and ask if anybody can help the little bit they can help. I have to admit, I need it, and I would great in the flat earth. I'm so fucking sick of you people crying about unity and coming together. Coming together for what? Exactly. So you can market us more bullshit and sell your shit and self-promote your talk show bullshit?
That was the end of that. Now here's Caveman 444. Brilliant. Sorry. Apologies, people. Here's Caveman's video.
When my mind wanders, I often think about my future children and the things I'm going to have the responsibility of teaching them, and what lessons need to be learned before other lessons, and how I'm going to present information incrementally. And one lesson that's going to be very important is how to identify fascism. And this would be pretty simple, because all you'd have to tell them is to go ahead and sit at a different table at lunchtime every day and just try and become acquainted with everyone at each table and just wait. And just wait for someone to try and dictate to you which table you're allowed to sit at. If someone tries to tell you you're no longer welcome at this table because you sit over at that table, whenever someone tries to tell you who your friends should be, if ever anyone tells you that, you know, you should stick up for this table, and if you don't stick up for this table, you are not a man. Anyone who has a uncomfortably strong interest in your affiliations, that's the fascists. And more importantly than identifying the fascists is that my children learn to not be afraid to sit alone if need be.
Yeah, so there you have it.
There you have
Did you guys have any final points? Maybe Amir, we haven't heard much from you. Did you want to sum up anything before we round out?
No, I think you guys said it all. I think I think it's because, well, actually there is one point I was going to say earlier. People seem to think that flat Earth is only like limited to YouTube and what's going on here, and I think that's something that we need to stop doing, because outside of YouTube there's another world. There's people interacting. There's things going on, and people making certain videos or trying to make money from their videos promoting flat Earth is not gonna get in the way of anything. It's just another platform. Do you know what I'm saying? There's things going on in the outside world. So I think we need to take everything with a pinch of salt. And like Antonio said, Adam said, we need to look at the message behind the message. So yeah, that's it really.
Super. Did you want to add anything to that, Adam?
Yeah, I do, actually. Two things. First, before you give your money to somebody like Dan Pratt, based on the evidence that was shown, is there someone in your own life that you do know that really needs help? You know, you're so quickly to give money to somebody that's panhandling that you don't know. But based on the evidence, it doesn't look good for him. Or is there someone in your own life that maybe you should be helping?
And that somebody in your own life might not be asking for help, because people don't like to impose on others. People don't like to point out to others that they're struggling. This is one of the reasons that there are so many mental health problems in the UK. People don't like to tell other people that they are depressed, because they think about the other person and how that might bring the other person down. And they don't want the other person to be brought down, so they don't talk about it. And when they're struggling financially, the same. They don't want to have the other person feel bad because they are struggling financially, so they don't say anything. But you can discern around you which of your friends might or might not benefit, and you can do it anonymously. You know, you genuinely can. You can put an envelope through their letterbox with money with no explanation, you know, or with just a gift, or from Santa Claus, whatever, Gandalf.
Or even make a phone call to their landlord without them knowing.
Yeah, that's true. Pay the rent.
Doesn't have to be money. Yeah. No, I'm referring to what Patricia done.
Yes.
for Dan.
She
It doesn't
doesn't
have to be money.
He
Oh,
didn't
yeah, yeah,
know that
yeah.
she did that. She didn't tell him that she
Yeah.
did that. And notice also what Caveman was saying, what Tony Viguccio was saying, is the fascists are the people who tell you that you can't sit with somebody else. Okay. No, at no point in this, and you can go back and review it, at no point have any of us said, all of you unsubscribe from Dan Pratt. We have not said this. We've not said, don't listen to Dan Pratt. Don't sit at his table. Nobody has said that, because that's not what we are. We're not fascists. But we have to remember, when you live in a country or a world where fascism is a mental state, it's an ideology, to call fascism when you see it, that's not wrong. And one of the things that people who like to distort do is the fascist goes round claiming fascism everywhere. Okay?
Exactly. Projecting their own nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're terrible. You've monetized your channel. Please give me some money.
Yeah.
And then if you were to turn around and say that's bad, look at these evil people saying it's bad when most of his videos have been about how terrible we are.
Just projecting who he
that's,
really
that's
is.
That's why we've done this, is because of the hypocrisy. It's as simple as that.
And also, sorry.
You go on, Adam. I was going to round up, but you go ahead.
So, well, I had 2 points. And also, how do you know after you give him your money, he doesn't just shut his channel down?
Yeah, that's why we've got Patreon. That's why the advertising revenue that comes my way, small though it is, or Patricia's way, small though it is as a direct result of a video that I've put effort and time into. And if you actually factor out how much it gives you versus the amount of time you put in, it is pathetic. We're earning 10 cents an hour or something. It's ludicrous how small it is. Any of the smaller channels, you go, well, those guys, I've made $2. It's like, well, now you appreciate exactly what it takes to make $2 after your 50th video or whatever you've done. For those guys who moan about not making any money on YouTube, well, we're in exactly the same boat. It's not somehow different for people. 3,000 is very, very close to zero, compared to 100,000 or 1 million subscribers. We have none. All of us on this panel, none of us have really got any subscribers in real terms. It's a tiny corner of the internet, certainly not a profitable one. But there's money to be made if you choose to monetize your channel. Why wouldn't you? It seems to make sense. We're engaged with the system whether we like it or not. By not having adverts, we're not somehow holier than thou. Far from it. But the reverse of that, putting your cap out, that's pretty bad. That's pretty low. It's definitely very hypocritical. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you to you all, because I know you're all itching to keep going this round and round in circles. So, Amir, from Insanity to Sanity, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Thank you. Likewise.
And Adam Joseph Doherty, the most level-headed and poignant comments came from you on this particular Hangout, mate. So thank you very much, as always.
Thanks for having me.
And Antonio Subratz and Patricia Steer, thank you as well.
Thank you, Nathan.
Pleasure. I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you all in the next video.